What is up, homies? My name is Felix and I'm here back again with another video for you all today. And it is daytime while I'm recording this video, not something you'll see a whole lot in this channel. But anyways, today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Lil Baby type beat inside of FL Studio. Obviously, he doesn't just use one specific beat for all his songs and stuff, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to make that like piano triplet type feel type beats, because they're actually really easy to make and they're also a nice refreshing change from the typical, patterns that we usually see in a lot of trap beats. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I've produced, my BeatStorm, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you wish to do so. And now we can get into this video. Alright, so here we are inside FL Studio, and the first thing that you want to do is pull up some type of piano. It doesn't really matter what piano you choose, but I'm going to use halftime on it, and we're going to give it a nice triplet type of feel. So I have this piano right here. And before I even put down any chords or notes or anything like that, I'm just going to X out of this, and then I'm going to go to the piano inside the channel rack, hit Control L, and now we're going to put halftime on this. So go here and then click on halftime. And the setting you want to make sure you check is this one right here that says 1/8 T. And this is the thing that's going to turn a simple piano melody into a nice little triplet type feel. So then also what you want to do is set your tempo to somewhere around like 125-ish. That's like a pretty good area for these type of beats. So now basically what you want to do is go in here and make a piano pattern that looks something kind of like this. So I'm going to start off with a minor chord, just like a C sharp minor, and then usually what I like to do is add another note higher up, and now this chord will sound like this. And as you can hear, it already has that stuttery kind of sound that we want just because of the halftime. But now what we can do is just add in basic notes like this, and because we have that halftime preset on here, it's going to sound really cool. As you can hear, it has that really nice triplet type of feel. And you can also do this if you don't have halftime. Halftime is only like 10 bucks, so I would say that it's a worthwhile investment. But if you don't have it, you can do the same thing by taking your chord and pitching it down an octave like this. And now you just have to change where you actually place the little counter melody notes in there. So right here, I achieved basically the same effect without the halftime, and it sounds like this. Obviously, it has a little bit of a different feel, but essentially what I did was I just took where these notes would normally be right here, and I just moved them over a little bit just to give it a little bit of hesitation and have that note right there lead into the next one. So yeah, that's how you can do the piano without having halftime. You can also use gross beat, obviously. There's definitely some type of triplet preset in there that you can use, but today I'm just going to be making the melody with halftime on it. Alright, so I just messed around for a little bit and I got this melody. It took me quite a while to get down, but I think it sounds pretty good. So it looks a little bit complicated, but it's really not. All I did was just start out with the chords originally. So basically this right here, and then I moved to this right here, and then I have this chord right here, and then it transitions back to this one right here. And the reason there's so many breaks in the chords, as you can see, like these spaces right here, it looks kind of like it's a brick wall or something. The reason I had to do that is because my piano plugin that I'm using, once a note plays over top of the same note, it weirdly stops the other one and doesn't let it keep playing, which, would be the way that a real piano would be. But yeah, so that's really the only reason I broke up the chords like that. Just because of the little top melody notes that I had inside the chords. Alright, so what I want to do now is work on the drums, because obviously the drums are going to be like the most iconic part of this type of beat. And then after we do the drums, I'll add a couple like supporting melody sounds. So as far as the drum sounds go, these beats are usually always going to have pretty basic trap kind of sounds. You're pretty much always going to have a spins 808, basic trap hi-hat, and then you're usually going to want to use a punchy kind of snare. However, there is some Lil Baby beats that use the plug clap and some other clap sounds or different type of snares. But to keep things simple, I'm just going to use a pretty popular snare. I think on r/drumkits I came across a post that was all of the sounds from his most recent album. So I pretty much have all of those sounds, which is really nice. So hopefully that's still on the internet somewhere. But yeah, so I'm going to pick some drum sounds real quick. Alright, so what you're going to want to do with your drums is obviously put your snares right here, going like this, and then turn the volume up all the way, if you want to. Some people don't do that. And now probably the most important part of this is the hi-hat. So what I'm going to do is just put in the hi-hat like this for right now. So, just this type of sound. It's not bad or anything, but it's not what we're trying to go for here. So what you got to do is open up the piano roll, and now we're going to take these and we're going to give them that triplet type feel. And the way you do that is you just take this hi-hat in the middle here, move it over like 2 little spaces, make sure your snap to grid is on 1/3. You can put it on whatever you want, but that just makes it easier for this. And now already we have this type of sound going on, which obviously is what we're kind of going for here. So also you can throw in some rolls and stuff here like this. Also, one thing you definitely want to make sure you do is vary the velocities of your hi-hats. So as you can see right here, some of them are quieter than others, and then some of them are more, you know, accentuated, and that's just going to give you much better bounce and have your hi-hats flow a lot better. But yeah, so pretty much you just want to follow this similar pattern with the hi-hats, and what you can even do that'll make it probably a lot easier for you to make this type of pattern is just go like this. Just fill one section right here like this. And now you can just copy these last 3 throughout your whole pattern. And now what you can do is just take out certain hi-hats to give it that stuttery kind of feel. As you can see, now we have the type of vibe that we're going for. So yeah, basically just do this throughout your whole hi-hat pattern, add some rolls in there, do whatever else you think it needs. All right, so now that we have our hi-hat pattern done, what we can do is move on to the kick. And the kick, you're gonna probably follow a similar pattern, because if we just do our regular, you know, something like this with the kick, it's gonna sound all right, but it's not gonna sound exactly the way we need it to. As you can hear, it's just like a little bit off. So what we want to do is go into the piano roll and basically just follow the same type of pattern that we did with the hi-hat. So for example, this kick right here, we're just going to move over a little bit. So as you can see, now that we made these slight little adjustments, it sounds much better now. So basically, we're just going to follow this same type of vibe throughout the whole kick pattern. However, though, we don't want to go too crazy and have it be like hitting on every hi-hat note. Like something like this is a little bit overwhelming, and I could imagine might be hard to rap over. So yeah, make sure you keep it pretty simple. All right, so now that we pretty much have the basis of what we need for the drums, there's a couple more things you can add. Obviously, you can add an open hi-hat in there, you can add some more percussion sounds, but to be honest, a lot of the beats that Lil Baby uses are pretty simple. A lot of rappers don't really want a whole lot of really complicated stuff in their beat, because it really just throws them off while they're trying to rap. The only people that really care about a whole bunch of complicated, you know, effects and producer stuff is going to be other producers. But yeah, anyways, what I want to do now is add a couple more sounds to this beat. So I think I'm going to add 3 things. I'm going to add some type of strings, I'm going to add some type of flute or something, and then I'm going to add another little piano melody over top that's a little bit cleaner and it won't have halftime on it. So with the strings, it's going to be really easy. We're just going to copy the same chords that we have here. Now I think I'm going to add in a little flute sound, and I'm going to use Labs by Spitfire Audio for that. Plugins that I'm using for both these sounds are free. The piano plugin that I'm using is not free. However, though, inside of Labs, there's a soft piano, and that'll probably work just fine for this type of beat as well. Alright, so I got the little flute sound in here. It sounds like this. Once I go in and mix everything, it's going to sound a lot better together, and that flute is going to be more ambient. The last thing I'm going to do now is add in another piano melody like I said I was going to do. Alright, so at this point I'm pretty much done with the whole melody, and it sounds like this. Only other thing we have left to do as far as making the actual beat is putting in the 808, which is going to be pretty easy. So with your 808, you're basically just going to copy the same notes as the kick. So if you want to, you can do copy and then paste in here. And now this is up to you, but for me, I'm going to take out a couple of these notes because I don't want to hit every time the kick hits. But once you have that, you can just hit Control L, and now all the notes will touch. And now you can just adjust it to wherever the bass notes of your chords are. So go like this. And also, it'll probably sound good if you take some of these notes like this one and this one, the shorter ones, and bring them up an octave. So we can go like this, and then hit Control and then up. And then since my pattern goes on for 8 bars, I'm going to have to do the same thing with these bass notes and these bass notes. But since the kick pattern is 4 bars, what we're going to have to do is just copy this over, just adjust this to whatever the bass note of this chord is. Alright, so at this point, we're pretty much done. The only other things that we have left to do is just mixing the beat and laying out the beat. And both those things are going to be pretty simple. So we're going to click on these little rectangles, hit Control L. So now we have all these assigned to their individual mixer tracks, and just a basic rundown of the mixing. What we're going to do is go to each and every sound, put an EQ on it, and then with the EQ we're going to cut out a lot of the low end just so that it doesn't interfere with our 808 and cause a lot of clashing and stuff. And then as you can see, there's not a lot of high end right here. So what we're going to do is just go like this, and then we're just going to cut out whatever frequencies aren't even here. And we're pretty much going to do that with every other melodic sound. The only one we really want to alter the feel of with the EQ is going to be the strings, because we're basically going to put a low pass filter on that and cut out a lot of the high end. And then also what I'm going to do for most sounds is put a little bit of reverb on there. And then obviously we're going to adjust the stereo separation knobs too. So yeah, other than that, I'm not going to do really anything with the drums. The only thing I do with all the sounds is basic leveling. So making sure nothing is too quiet, making sure nothing's too loud, everything's nice and uniform. So now the only thing we have left to do is laying out the beat, and that's going to be pretty easy. We don't have to do anything too crazy. Basically what I'm going to do is just have the piano pattern playing in the beginning like this. And then I'm gonna have the second piano come in with the hi-hats and the snare. Have that play for 8 bars, and then we're gonna have all the drums drop in here. And then for the next 8 bars, maybe we'll take out the flute and the other piano and just have it sound like this. And then we'll bring back the flute and the other piano. And then from here, if you want to, you can just copy this 32 bar section. And then to finish it off, just maybe copy this first part, bring it over here, and then go to your master track, right click, press A. That'll create an automation clip. And now with the automation clip, we can go to the beginning, right click, press C to copy, and then go to the end over here. And then just click in a point right here and paste the value, and then drag this all the way down. And that'll just create a simple little volume fade out at the end. And now you're pretty much done. So yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for me in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, these beats are pretty simple to make, but I quite like them. I think it's a very nice and unique style. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I've produced, my beat store, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so, and I will see you guys next time.
And what you throwing up? Nah, bitch, don't throw that up, cause you ain't one of us. Ay, ain't been here from the start, one with me on that bus. Ay, give a fuck about the ops, we see 'em, we on that bus. I just got some hollow tips, wait till they touch.